All right, so today I have my theraband to work with a little bit of shoulder stuff. That's what I'm hoping to work with this month, is kind of the upper chest. We did a lot with this part of the body last month, which actually supports what we're going to be doing here too. So working in that center of the body with the ribs, knitting, and all of that really is going to be continuing, but we're going to see if we can bring some more breath into this part of the body as well. So the upper chest, and then work with the shoulders and strength in some of our classes. So that'll be kind of part 1, 2, 3 for this month. I hope we'll see how that goes. So today you'll need your theraband. I have a blanket just because it's nice to sit on or use for my head. So if you have a blanket or pillow, that's nice too. So good to see everybody this morning. If you want and you need an extra class this week, I am teaching the cardio classes for Scott. So I just taught one this morning at 7:30. That'll be in the video library later. And I use the step, and then we do 20 minutes of movement lab like this, and a little bit of meditation at the end. So that's the format of that class. And then of course on yesterday, I taught my cardio with strength, and we do a little more with weights in that, and a good 25 minutes of cardio in that one too. So anyway, just so you know what else is going on, there's lots of classes to take. So go ahead and come to your feet and I'll go ahead and take that back behind me here and take a breath in. And just kind of checking in to your body in this moment. Feel your feet, let the knees soften. And then I'm going to take the arms out to the side. I just want to test it out, see how the arms feel. There's some interesting things for my body, where how my elbows are. I don't know if that's true for everybody. When I take my arms up, my elbows tend to stay like pointed a little bit more toward the front. So sometimes I'll rotate inward a little bit. So let's do that, rotating with the thumbs downward. And now leave your elbows. I mean, they're going to move some. You're going to rotate a little bit back, but let your forearms do a little more rotating so that they come straight, but your elbows don't necessarily come as far forward. So see if that makes any sense to you. It's a little, I'm going to take the thumbs down again. And then I rotate back to where I feel is center. And I let my forearm, my wrist go a little further than my elbow. A little right into the weeds today about that, because it's real interesting to feel that connection all the way now to my fingertips, into my shoulders. And take a breath in. And let the arms come down. So I'm already a little bit warmed up from my other class. Let's get you warmed up a little more. Let's take it into circles. And we'll see if that feels different after our circles. Soften the knees so you feel your weight into your feet again. And take these small circles the other way. And go to the first direction, get a little bit bigger, a little more exploratory with your circles. And bigger circles the other way again. Bigger circles, exploring that range of motion. And then release the arms down again. Good, checking in with that. Let's bring the arms up, see how that feels. Let's bring the fingertips down, thumbs down again. And then rotating back and noticing if you can leave your elbows kind of not twisting forward. I'm not going forward so much with my elbows as I'm going to level out the hands. And then bring the arms down. So either I did something in my other class already, but my arms are tired today. So if you can hang on a little longer, keep those arms up, you go ahead. I'm going to take those into W's here. So kind of like a goalpost arm or a cactus arm, and we're going to go in and out. Elbows toward each other, elbows open. We're working in the back a little bit, but we know the shoulder blades are part of the shoulder kind of conglomeration there. So conglomerate. The shoulder is made up of shoulder blades, upper arm bone, and clavicle. So if we talk about shoulder, we're really talking about upper back muscles, upper arm muscles, chest muscles, because they relate to our collarbones. Good, and then release those, and let's just let the arms kind of swing. And then bring them up, and let's do some air pulls. So we'll do this work here, pulling down and pushing back up, pulling down and up and down and up. Good. Good, 3 more. I'm really reaching my elbows outward, kind of making that a hard thing to do. We'll get the theraband involved here in just a moment, and then let the arms go. Let's take that into a forward fold here, rolling down. So chin comes toward the chest, belly engages right away. As soon as that head gets heavy, we need the belly to engage. So go ahead and do that. Belly engages, come on down. And then you can just let the arms and the back feel that nice gravity. And you can circle those arms here. So if you've had some shoulder issues ever, an injury to the shoulder, you know that this is one of the things that a lot of PT will give, is kind of this passive movement of those muscles. So we're not doing anything for our strength, but a little bit for releasing maybe anything that's tight. And then coming up. And I'm stuck here. It's the first time I've gotten stuck. There we go. All right, coming up. All right, let's work on the lower body a little bit. So I really feel like it bears saying that this part of the body supports up here, but also all the way from the feet through the pelvis really supports our shoulders, right, in that posture. So we get the posture from core support, we get the posture from leg support, and then the shoulders can just be delightfully at ease, ideally. So plus we work on our shoulder strength in all those different ways. So let's go ahead and bring yourself into Pilates V. And then let's bend the knees. Let's work with that part first. Bend the knees and back up. If you want to give a little bit of pulse here, and straightening. Pulse and straight. Pulse and straight. Good. Come on down and back up. We'll go down. Now this time pause and then lift the heels and lower. Lift the heels and lower. Maybe it's not a very big lift. See if you can connect them. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift the heels and lower. 3 and 2 and 1. And lower and press down and straighten the legs. Good. Now we're going to go straight up, balls of the feet, heels connected, up and down. All right, we're going to pause in that up position. Feel the pinky toe, the big toe, the leg muscles, the heels connecting. 3, 2, 1, and come down. Take the feet apart. Wiggle the legs a little bit. And then I'm going to grab my elastic here. grabbing the elastic, and you can step on it with one foot or both. And I'm going to take this kind of stance coming forward with the torso a little bit. And we're going to do some rows. And those rows are going to be right along the elbow, coming right alongside the body, pulling up and releasing, pull and release, pull and release. If you want more to pull on, you're going to grab closer to your feet. If it's a little too hard, lighten up or loosen up your grip a little bit. Let there be a little more band, and that'll make it a little easier for you. Keep those elbows near the body. Squeeze. All right. Good work. All right, I'm going to take my band, let it get long, because I don't think mine's long enough to do both sides at the same, or both arms at the same time. So I'm going to take that on one side, standing on my band. And then I want to take my band, find a good way to hold on to it. We'll see how this works. And I might have to let go a little bit more, because what I want to do is take it from here and press it up, come down, press it up, come down. Good. Press it up. Good. And then coming down. Just check that out. How did that feel? All right. All right, let's try the other side. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go up and over, up. I just want to be able to punch my hand as far up as I can go. And I can bring it down here too, elbow down to the side, up, elbow, up, elbow, up. And there'll be a little difference too if you take that a little more frontward, or if you take it way back behind you, right? You'll end up doing kind of a tricep thing. So a little more up, elbow comes back up, the elbow kind of staying in the front of my plane a little bit, not back here and just doing that part, right? I'm actually moving the whole arm to get this overhead stuff, these top muscles here. Whew, good. You feel that all right? Well, let's do one more arm stuff here with this band. I'm gonna step on it again. And then we're gonna take this, and it's a little bit like our rows, but this time the arms are gonna stay a little wider. So you can have some bend in your elbows to kind of test this out, pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, and keeping those elbows there. Or you can take your hands a little wider. My band is a little tough for me here. So I don't get too much movement, and I've got lots to do. So a little bend in my elbows, I'm going a little bit wider, or you can have a lot more bend in the elbows and kind of pulling more up. And last one. Oh, and coming back up. Let's take that into a roll down because that definitely gets up in here a little bit, doesn't it? Taking that arm outward and trying to add that weight. So chin to the chest, shoulders releasing, back releasing. Taking a breath here. Let the exhale ride its way out. Just like so many things in the body, it's not so much whether we can kind of make something happen or force something to happen, but whether we let the breath kind of ride out. Go ahead and find your way up. Let the breath ride out. Let the breath circulate, and when we're upside down, we get to have a little benefit of gravity to help this upper body release a little bit. So I really love that. Okay, so let's come on down to the floor with your elastic. And with the elastic at the feet, this is another great place to work with the arms a little bit without that standing. And I like it because it's just really, you could kind of fine tune here. So let's do a couple more rows seated. You can have your knees bent if you'd like. Good. And then go ahead and take that in a roll down. And let's take it little by little here. I've got the elastic to help me out. So I'm going to come down, let the shoulders be nice and broad, the upper back be broad, elbows out to the side a little bit, and then find my way back up. If you want to, take that into a forward fold, let the head go, the shoulders go. Inhale, exhale, come back. Maybe you come all the way down this time, letting the head come down, let the shoulders release. And lift the head. Use your band, use your belly, find your way up. And if you'd like to, let the head go. Exhaling. And with the next exhale, come on up. And rolling down, we're going to end up on your back. And I'm going to bring the band in behind the body. And just take that breath in and see. I'm taking into account your upper chest today. So we bring the breath in. We always want to bring it in to have a diaphragmatic breath. I mean, in this class, we can do that. If you're exercising, you're not necessarily going to take diaphragmatic breaths. Your breathing will do what it needs to do for the occasion. So let's see, leave your strap right there for the moment. And then let's support the head with the hands and get ourselves ready to do some core work here that involves mini crunch. So starting with mini crunch coming up. Releasing the jaw, Elbows reaching. Let your head relax into your hands and let the belly then reinvigorate its hold. 3, 2, 1, and coming back, back, back. Head reaches the floor. Breath comes in. Ribs fall with the exhale. And the ribs, a lot of times I'm only talking about the lower ribs. Today we can think about the upper ribs too, right? The chest releasing with that exhale. Let's do one more of these. Can we keep the chest soft as we come up? So if you've got space in your brain to look at whether things are really tight here in the chest, and if they can soften up a little bit, knees might come up. Breath coming into the lower ribs, maybe into some of the upper ribs, the chest. Take that breath in, deep breath. One more breath. Legs come down. Hands come out, head comes down. And let the shoulders just spread out as your jaw releases, as the neck releases. Then let's take that elastic up again. It's behind your body there, kind of along the floor. And we're bringing the knees up and let the head be down to start, but take a hold of your strap. And let's try lowering the legs a little bit, out with the legs, and then come back in. Take them out or up, spread the legs apart, and then come back. So point, reach, knees come back in. Point, reach, knees come back in. So that's what the feet are going to do. That's what the legs are going to do. We're going to add our head coming up. So as the legs reach out, lift the head and reach the arms. Feet apart. And when they come back in, you can bring the head back down, release the arms. Reach, head comes up and back down. Now you could also leave the head up here, working with the legs, the belly. And then the arms, do a little bit of switching when the knees come in. And then coming down with the head, releasing. Let's do a couple more, just reaching the arms long and then bringing the elbows up. Leave the head down. Legs. This is a lot of information if you haven't done this one before. The choreography. Plus I'm doing it with a strap, which isn't normally what you do. All right, so let's bring that, let the strap go. Taking a breath. Releasing the shoulders. Good. Let's take that leg up into the air here, reaching up, toe, heel, toe. And then let the other leg go nice and long and take that up into a tree pose. So come up, reach that foot, and it can stay up if you'd like. And you could climb up the leg a little, giving a little pull on the back of the leg. So reaching out through the front of my foot too. And then come on down. So broad in the chest, nice and broad with the elbows coming up. Still wide there. And letting the breath do the work too. And I'll let that leg come down and switch toe, heel, toe with this foot. Just extra stuff for the ankle and the toes. Then lift the head nice and big with the arms, belly, finding your way up. And today, if you'd like to pull in a little bit or hold on to that leg, reach with the toes. Come on down. And again, exhale. Using the belly, not the chest. Good. And then let's stay up this time. And I'm going to come all the way up to my feet, actually. So let's do that. Finding our way up to our feet. Let's take a little bit of a wide stride. Turning the toes out. Settling into the feet. Checking in with the heart space and this chest space. Can you take a breath in where you can feel the breath there? So oftentimes I'll emphasize, can we get the breath here, ribs? And in that process, maybe you're also feeling that here in the chest, across into the shoulders, right? Good. And the more of a container we have here, a little bit of a container, I don't let the breath come. So I say bring it down to your belly button, but it really is to bring it into the ribs. Let's do a little movement here. See if you can feel that breath as you move. Getting a little deeper with your sumo. Going to come down and pause. Pausing down here. Let's lift the heels, both of them. Both the heels lifting. Very exciting. Lowering one heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. Other heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. Both heels lowering. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. Let's go ahead and let the feet settle into the floor here. Notice if the weight is really into the heels. Take it forward a little bit. Press down to come up. Good. Step the feet underneath you. Feeling that breath come in. We'll continue to work with the breath to bring the breath into these collarbones. This can get kind of tight in here, can't it? If you ever give yourself a little self massage here, we'll maybe do that in a couple sessions. I'm not sure if it'll be next week or when, but you can feel that, and the breath can really help with that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do a little work here and some standing. So let's take one foot back, and it's going to be a bigger step back, and you're going to lean forward onto the front knee. And still kind of noticing the breath. So as you bring your arms forward, we sort of collapse the front of the chest a little bit. So adjusting so that you can keep the chest fairly open here. And if you'd like to, you can bring your hands to heart center, pressing the palms together and kind of help open the chest a little bit, get us a little more connected into the shoulders. And then if you wish, we're gonna come off that back foot. We're gonna bring the weight to the front foot. And you can keep your toes on the floor there balancing, or you can also take the foot away from the floor or tap it. Or even come and pause here in a warrior three-leg position. So knee and toe toward the floor, but lifting that leg, palms together, head reaching, and then bending the front knee, come back to your lunge, straightening the front leg, come back to center. Good. In your forward position, take the toes forward, maybe turned in a little bit, soften the knees, and then let's take the body into a forward fold here. I'm going to start a little bit straight with the spine, with the knees bent. And then if you'd like to, rounding forward and letting gravity take hold again. So the hands can come downward, they can come down to the floor, on the sides, on the legs. And you want to let the exhale run its course. Releasing the head, neck, and shoulders. And then as you're ready, coming up, you can take that in a slow roll or halfway, and then pause, and then come up the rest of the way. Good. Let's step to the other side. Stepping back, second side, steps back, leaning forward. And leaning forward, bringing my arms forward, a lot of times I could round in my chest here, kind of close everything up. So I'm going to be a little mindful of that and see if I can keep some openness there. Bending that front knee, bringing the palms together, pressing the palms together to connect into the shoulders. And then coming forward, more weight onto that front foot if you'd like. Toes can stay. Toes could lift and tap. Or you can lift and stay in this static balance. And then bending the front knee, come back to your lunge and straightening up. Come back to center and walk the feet underneath you. Let's bring those hands together, pressing the palms together with quite a bit of pressure, 5 pounds, pressing my arms together here, palms together, fingertips together, bending the knees. Bring in that breath. Good, and coming straight up. Bring the arms down and checking that out. Good. Releasing the shoulders into the pelvis. Releasing the pelvis to the knees, to the feet. You might feel your face soften. Also that kind of downward softening. And then let's step to the top of your mat, wherever that is, whichever side you'd like to go to. Good. Inhaling here, exhaling arms out and up. We'll talk a lot more about the shoulder blades next class, but right now, shoulder blades lifting, ribs down, inhaling forward fold. Oh, you can feel that breath come into the rib cage, maybe into your back. Exhale here, let the shoulders, neck, and head go. Good, next breath. Take one breath here, exhale. And let the inhale move you to downward dog. And in your downward dog, letting the exhale again ride its way out. Let the breath do the work. Feel the fingertips on the mat. And then let's take that to plank. Knees can come down or knees can stay up. That same idea of the hands, the fingertips pressing down so that you feel a little less on the wrists. You can feel more into the fingers. And then a little tiny, tiny bend in the elbows. And maybe we'll work a little bit more with push-ups and how they relate to that upper body strength in coming classes, but let's come down. Knees come down to the floor. And here, letting the chest round. So here, I'm not gonna try to keep it balanced at the moment. I'm just gonna let the shoulders receive gravity. Take a breath. Let the chest really sink down. I got a face plant going on because of that, like letting the chest down and my chin really finds the floor. And then settling your feet, lifting one leg up and reaching it back, the other leg up and reaching it back, settling it back down. And then find that low belly area. And as you get prepared, we're going to prepare the lower body and then we're going to prepare the upper body. As you prepare the upper body, the shoulder blades start to come in toward the spine a little bit. They're going to come onto the back like your wing tucking in. And then you'll feel like you can take that hand alongside the body. Try one side at a time. Palm upward, the hand alongside the body, the shoulder blade holding that arm up. And then the other side. And then just noticing the chest. So it's not so much that I'm kind of off balance and really squeezing my shoulder blades together, trying to find that happy middle spot, reaching that head out. And if you'd like, if that reach ends up lifting the chest a little bit, so be it. If it ends up lifting the toes, reaching back with your toes and they lift a little bit, so be it. Breath. Let the exhale really happen here. Take the inhale. Let it go in toward your belly button. Full exhale. One more. And then bring the hands back to support you right near the body. Next breath, let's push down to come up and to come into downward dog. And we're going to walk the feet forward as many steps as you need. To exhale here in gorilla. To inhale in the forward fold. And to exhale, arms out and up. Bringing the arms back down. We'll stay right here on this side. I'm going to take 1 foot back again into that projected lunge. And remembering that spot we were just in with the shoulder blades, if you choose to take your hands away from the knee, finding that same spot with the shoulder blades and the arms alongside the body, palms pressing backward. And if you'd like to, taking that balance again, coming forward, toes can stay on the floor, toes can lift. Bending that knee to come back to your lunge. Hands can come back, pushing through the front leg to straighten. Good. Switch sides. Go straight into the other side. So I want to make sure I stand a little bit broader with when I start, because that helps the balance a lot. Then when I step back, I've got that big lunge, bending the knee and finding my hands on the knee to park it to start. Just getting my balance. Then if I decide to take those arms alongside the body, shoulder blades tucking in onto the back. And if I want to take that balance again, taking the toes along with me, also have something to hang on to here or touch the wall to help you. Give a fingertip on the wall can be a lot of steadying in our balance poses, really help. It's okay to get a little wobbly. I've been wobbly on both my sides. Nervous system and strength get a lot of practice figuring out where I'm at in space. Come back to standing and find your feet underneath you. All right. So let's give ourselves a little more tactical release here. We did some strength stuff, so that shortens the muscle fibers and sometimes can leave a little tension, but we've done a lot of breathing and a lot of gravity to hopefully release that. So let's give it a little bit more. Let's take the hand to the other opposite side of your body. I'm going to come in a little bit so you can see. And I'm going to just take my fingers and give a nice squeeze in. And I'm letting my shoulder lift as I do that. And you can do different things with your head. You can let your head tip toward this or tip back, or your chin tip in. And you can get in wherever you can reach and give it a nice, strong, likely a nice strong pressure. You're going to know what feels best for you. That's the good news about doing it yourself. You can go out toward the outside of the arm. You can go even down the top of the arm. Back in, back in. And then let's give a couple of rotations to that shoulder. Rotating it back. Rotating it forward. And then take that arm and we'll rotate it in front of us. And open, in front, and open. And I'm doing a little bit of rounding as I come forward, and then opening and rounding. Good. And then release that shoulder. Release that movement. And should we do the other side? Let's do the other side. So this side may feel different than the other side, does for me. Lifting the shoulder, getting into the neck is fine. You can do that. We didn't do that on the other side, but it feels nice to kind of just give a little to the muscular part of the neck here, to where it goes into the upper back. Letting the head do its thing. Softening into the feet again. If we're supported from the bottom up, gravity, our grounding. Make sure we can feel the feet, even as we do the shoulder stuff. Good. Out. It's a little bony out here. You can feel this is part of your scapula, where it goes into the arm here. Your arm bone is underneath, hopefully lots of muscle under there. All the way down to your elbow at least. Back up, back in. Let me do some rotating. Just rotate that arm. You're rotating in the collarbone. You can feel that if you want to. There's the collarbone moving. Moves all together. The shoulder made up of that collarbone, the arm bone, and the scapula back there. Go forward. And then we took it kind of across the body and open. Across and open. Cross and open. Cross and open. Good. And then come back to standing and see how that feels. Dropping into your feet, a little softness in the knees, and then traveling that awareness up to shoulders, head, and neck. Breath. Good. Let's find our way down to our seat. And take the feet kind of like a mat distance apart. If you'd like to, you can bend the knees if that just doesn't feel very good on the hamstrings, on the legs. And we're going to do a little bit of rounding here. So let's round back, belly back. And then take that same movement we were doing earlier, just a moment ago, standing. We were kind of reaching across and reach across outside of your foot. And then come back up. So the belly pulls back. I'm sitting on the back of my sit bones, even on my tail a little bit. And then I'm going to reach a little bit and across. And if we want to, that backhand can do the same thing it was doing earlier with the wings on the back, right? Shoulder blade comes on the back. See if you can do this with a sense of release instead of a sense of kind of got to do it, or there's a mission. Can I pull the belly back? Sure, that's work. Can I release the shoulders as they reach? There's some release there. One more. And coming back up. Okay. Sitting with knees bent like this, crisscross, or with the legs out in front. straight, more together than what they were. And then just seeing if you can sit up nice and tall. So on a chair is nice to sit up tall, sitting up on something, whether the legs are out or in crisscross here. Inhaling, exhaling. And again, just checking out. So now we're not on our feet, but the pelvis and the legs resting down support us upward. Plus we always do that core work, so that helps. Let's take the body a little bit to your right. Take your arm across, just like we were doing earlier. This time we're just going to pause here with the breath. You can let the head go, lifting the chin a little bit. Dropping the shoulder with the exhale. And then coming back to center. So we'll head to the other side. One arm comes behind, the other arm comes across. The chest moves, the pelvis stays. And then if you'd like to add a little bit of the chin kind of reaching a little bit over, looking over your shoulder. And at the same time, that same side shoulder releasing with the exhale. And then coming back to center. If your feet aren't already out in front, and even if you're seated, this works just fine. Let's take a forward fold. And so let's let this be just kind of a gradual inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, start to round it a little. Inhale a little length. I'm not going to go all the way back up though. I'm just going to give a little length here. Exhale, rounding again. Inhale, a little length. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, a little length. Exhale, rounding. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. And then slowly, gradually pulling yourself up to seated, bringing the head up. Maybe bringing the legs in. And your choice here, if you can, maybe you sign off and you come onto your back and do a little resting, a little shavasana, a little more of that. Set your timer for 3 or 5 minutes and just really chill the body out. It's an awesome thing to do. But our time is up today, so we'll be signing off, and I hope you have a really wonderful rest of your day. Hope you'll check in with me frequently this week. I'll be teaching tomorrow. Let's see, that's locally, not online. Teaching Saturday morning for Scott, Sunday morning for myself at 9 a.m. and then Monday back again at 7:30 for Scott. So lots of classes for me this week. And hope to see you again. Have a really wonderful rest of your day and the rest of the week. Hello.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Thank you.